thank you, everybody. It's an honor to be here to celebrate the 65th birthday of Emperor Naruhito. Alaska has no better friend in the Pacific than Japan, and we have for many, many decades. We have great ties economically, culturally, as was mentioned, and we are basically family in many respects. You know, Alaska pioneered, for example, LNG export for the Western world. First LNG export plant in the world was in Algeria in 1964. In 1969, we were sending gas to our friends in Japan to help them out for 50 years out of Cook Inlet. I was asked to go over to Japan a few years ago on the 50th anniversary of the sales of gas. And it was a big event in Japan. They remember that event. And we were speaking to them about the hopes of future relationship with Alaska, with America, with regard to gas. I can tell you that that's heading towards a reality. Last week I was in Washington, D.C. for the week. Had meetings with Philippines Embassy, the Korean Embassy, had a great get-together in the Japanese Embassy with the ambassador. I was actually, I don't know, I guess you're not supposed to be on time in Washington, but I was there first, and so I was the first one he greeted, and we talked for a little while. But in that get-together, there were many, many businesses, many business-related governmental entities as well. And that was on a Friday. On Saturday evening, we met in the White House. We had dinner with the President of the United States. We sat at his head table. There were 6 of us sitting there. And the conversation began about what he believes is going to be the largest project in the world, and that's this gas line. So many of you have seen where the President of the United States and his administration drew up an EO. The only EO drawn up for any state was for Alaska, because he believes in its importance, not just for America, but for our Asian allies, especially our ally in Japan. And we talked about energy security, we talked about national security, we talked about strengthening our ties at that dinner. And I think you're going to see some amazing things coming out of the White House here over the next several weeks, probably the next few days, actually. And this pipeline project looks like it's getting very close for some major announcements. Our friends in Japan are going to be a major part of this whole process. And so I want to just say that, again, I want to wish the Emperor a happy birthday on behalf of Alaskans. I want to welcome everyone here today that are friends of Japan and our Japanese friends that are here, our Japanese Alaskans that live here, and to say that I think the next 50 years are not just going to be Alaska's 50 years, but I think it's going to be Japan's 50 years too, and a whole new renewed relationship with not just America, but the great state of Alaska that is Japan's closest neighbor, and I think best friend. So with that, thank you everyone, and happy birthday to Emperor Naruhito.